Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the adventures of Baldur's Gate 3. Last time, Withers has joined the camp. We have finished exploring the chapel. And our party is, well, pretty darn stacked right now. So, like I said in the last episode, it is time for our first visit to camp. I may not necessarily do a long rest while I'm here, but we want to do a campfire session, as I will call these, so that we can chat to our party members, and most importantly, chat with Withers, who is over here, because today is Respec Day. I've asked you guys to post your comments with any and all ideas for our party members, for who you would like our party members to change their classes into, if you so wanted them to. You guys responded, and I have amalgamated them all together and come up with a list. Most awesome. So, starting off with Zyron himself, because one of you had a fantastic idea, shout out to Nin for this one, to cross-class Zyron.
Make haste.
Now, this is bearing in mind, I do need to check one thing. No, I don't want to be stealthed. Get out of stealth. God damn it.
They should all be running.
So at the moment, we are pretty much all level 3. Level 3 is great. I would preferably want to cross-class a level 4, but you know what? Might as well get the cross-classing done now so we can establish ourselves and add a little bit of a challenge moving forward. That's my logic. Hello, Withers.
We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in my camp.
Those facial expressions, I love them.
Need of my services.
Yes. But first things first, we have a little bit of a chat with Withers. What would be the best way to approach him? You were sorting something before. What were you doing?
Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin.
What are these friggin' facial expressions like?
Worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking.
Now, here's an idea for future run. If this ends up becoming a seasonal thing where we end up doing multiple runs of Baldur's Gate 3 with different characters, ideas, etc. One idea I do want to do, potentially in the future, is a run with custom created characters fully, mine and others. And all the other created characters will be created by you guys, so you guys will be able to dictate what their races should be, classes should be, etc. And we'll go crazy with them from there. That's a future run, and if you like that idea, let me know in the comments, and I will totally look at doing that in the future. But for right now, are there any other ways you can help us?
Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more.
That is very true. If any of your companions die, just talk to Withers. He'll bring them back. A little bit of coin. It's all well and good. Okay, you mentioned the cost. Helpful. I don't want to talk about hirelings. I think I still need to talk to get the option I want. That's incredibly powerful magic. Why is it so easy for you?
Because it is my calling. There is little else to explain.
Well, Withers, you are also a lich. Yeah, if you can't tell, he's kind of liching it up. Like, I mean, the dead body, the robes, the omnipotence. Yeah, he's liching. He's liching off of me right now. Anyway, won't worry about the liching. Can you help me change my class?
As thou desire.
It's only 100 per pop, so this is relatively cheap. Now, just so you guys are aware, we are not getting rid of Bard. Bard we're keeping. So we're going to keep with our first level of Bard. Absolutely. So we're going to basically keep everything out how it currently is. Just want to make sure my cantrips and spells are still the same as well. Yep, that's all fine. Starting instrument flute, because we like the fluty. Or the tutti fluty. Starting stats are all good. Starting proficiency is all good. Fantastic. That's all we wanted for level 1. Nice and easy. Nin, shout out to Nin yet again, who is a fellow player of Baldur's Gate 3 and a big fan of the community and a well-beloved member of the community as well, suggested that Zyron should cross-class himself And he should cross-class as a paladin. And we should make him an Oathbreaker paladin. How are we going to break our oath? Well, we can actually break the oath very early on. And we will take advantage of that. And specifically, we would do, I believe it was Oath of Vengeance? Yes, it was. We have some tenets to adhere to, but we're not going to worry about that because we're going to break those tenets. And we also get our feat. Now, because we are doing a dex-based paladin build, this is going to be a lot more interesting. I want to go dual wielder because I like the idea of a dual wielding paladin bard. Now, this still opens up the opportunities of what to do weapon-wise, but we'll get to that in the future, I'm sure. So that's our first level in Paladin. If we were to take the next level in Paladin, we would just get a spell slot and a feat. But if we took our second level in Bard, we would get our Song of Rest back, our level 1 spell slot, and Jack of all Trades. And I would personally like to get Bard to level 3 first, followed by the Paladin. So, let's do that. I get one more Bard spell. We are going to pick... Let me see, at this stage in the game, I'm still not too fond of Featherfall this early on. I think we can get that later. But because we're going to be in melee range a lot, Thunderwave's going to be great. Racial-wise, we do get Fairy Fire, so I didn't want to double up on Fairy Fire. That's great. Don't want to replace the spell, but we do get another feat. If there is a thing that can get us to... Yes, this will get us to 18 Charisma, proficiency bonus doubled for Deception and performance checks. I quite like the idea of Actor. Actor will actually help us out, especially if we're deceiving or performing. That could be really handy. Charisma plus 1 take us to 18. Happy days. Let's take it. And Zyron is done. Now Zyron is a Bard Paladin. Soon to be Oathbreaker, but we'll break his oath later, don't worry. Next up is Gale.
Ah, another. Thy name has been recorded.
This make Gale happy.
For whenever thou
I'm in a book.
Need of my services.
Why would Gale be fascinated by this? Gale would just be thinking, I'm in a book? Oh, brilliant. I always wanted to be in a book. Mr. be praised.
As thou desires.
Right, let's put our cash in, and we'll be changing out Gale. Gale, the voters come in, and we have decided to go with our first level in Wizard, which would be interesting. Cantrip-wise, I do like his cantrips. Mage Hand, Frostfire. I actually do like his cantrips. Spell-wise, let's just completely reset the spells and see where we're going to end up here. Gale. I think with you, Gale, we're going to do Find Familiar. You're mostly going to stay in the back, and I want you to stay in the back. We're going to do that. Witch Bolt. Magic Missiles goes without saying. Grease. Grease is fantastic. Ray of Sickness is okay, but I don't know. I just don't like it. I'm not as big of a fan with it. Charm Person, because why not? Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Yet again, I do really like Ice Knife. Yeah, let's just go with Ice Knife. It's only the first level. We can also now sort out his stats. We're going to max out Intelligence. And because of where we want him to go, we want his Charisma to be a 14. And I'm then going to bump the rest of his points into Constitution, leaving 2 for Wisdom. And there's a reason why we're building him this way, so don't worry. We're going to get rid of all these, and we're going to check what we want. We don't need him to be a talky guy, but I do want him to be... Being our nature and religion guy is not a bad shout. You know what? I'd rather have it on perception than nature. Having you +5 religion is actually really solid. I think insight would make more sense for Gale. If we were to do it on a... What would Gale want basis? And speaking of what... Well, that's what I want. Okay. Wizard level 2 we're going to sort out in a minute because, according to you guys, we have gone with the vote of turning Gale into a Wizard Warlock. That's why we had to bump up his charisma a bit. So, Wizard Warlock combo. This is going to be an interesting one. We're going to keep Eldritch Blast because I love Eldritch Blast, and we're going to take Bone Chill because Bone Chill's really handy. Being able to give him disadvantage on attack rolls from afar is going to be nice. But we're going to go with the Archfey. So he is going to be an Archfey Warlock Pact. So this gives him access to Fairy Fire and Sleep. And we also have Fey Presence, so we can charm or frighten nearby foes with the Feywild's beguiling disturbing magics, which could be very handy. Now, we do gain access to those 2 spells, and that's what I want to keep, preferably. I'm not double stacking on anything. No, we're good. But we do get access later on. Armor of Agathis is really nice, but I think what we're going to do, we're going to take Bane. Oh, actually, Hellish Rebuke, just in case we take damage, so we can do a reaction to just set the guy on fire. And Hex. Hex is just godlike. We hex somebody, hit one of their disadvantage on one of their ability saves or one of their abilities in general to make them worse, and then we can just take advantage and deal more necrotic damage over time. Fantastic. And he gets a feat as well. I'm going to give you Warcaster, so you have advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration. That goes without saying. Warcaster is probably going to be best for your level 2. And then it's a matter of whether we take level 2 Warlock or level 2 Wizard. We're going to take level 2 Wizard. Now, I'm actually quite surprised. None of you guys, if we wanted to Gale to keep as a Wizard, said what subclass of Wizard or Wizard School would be best. I'm kind of thinking Necromancy, because it's the idea that, yeah, he's one with a Fae, but he's also like a Harbinger of Death. If you kill a creature with a spell, regain hit points twice to the spell slot used. Oh, I think we go Necromancy. I think we mix it up a little bit. Can do Fog Cloud. I think we'll just give you Featherfall so I don't forget to get it on anybody at this point. I like Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Let's put that on Gale. That'll make him a lot more interesting. And now, yes, we have access to Charm Person. I think to kick us off, we have a couple of damage spells. We have a spell to set him away, a familiar that we can summon up, and because he's now a Conjuration Wizard, it makes sense. I think we pick... I don't want Featherfall yet. We'll get that in later. I think we actually go Tasha's Hideous Laughter. I do like it, and I find it a very situational control spell. It's either going to be Tasha's Hideous Laughter or Charm Person, in fairness. It's going to be one of these two. I'd rather keep him prone. If we're talking strictly combat scenario, prone. Hands down. There you go. Gale is now a Necromancer Wizard Fey Warlock. Interesting build idea, guys, for Gale. I'm looking forward to trying him out. Next is everybody's favorite husbando. Literally, the internet goes crazy for him. It's Astarion! So, Astarion was the interesting one. I basically had a couple of complete split ideas of what to do with Astarion. Some of you guys wanted something completely different. Some of you guys wanted something similar, but just with some added pizzazz. The High Elf cantrip to start, because he is a High Elf. As much as I like Firebolt, I might not want him to have it. I might actually take Shocking Grasp instead. Because if he's going to be in melee a lot of the time, which is where this build is going to go, Shocking Grasp is just going to be fantastic. Now, for his first level, we are actually going to take him not in Rogue, but in Ranger. That's right, Astarion is going to be a Ranger. Now, no one dictated what his favored enemy should be. Yeah, I think Magebreaker's just handy to go against like other spellcasters in general. We also get Beast Tamer, so we get Find Familiar, which is fantastic. No, I like the idea of an Urban Tracker. So we get proficiency in Sleight of Hand, which I still want Astarion to have. So that's all good. And this means that if we clear his stats, we're going to change things around a little bit. His Dexterity is going to be our main stat to bump in, so we're going to give that the +2. We are then going to bump up his Constitution and Wisdom, I believe? Because I believe Rangers like using their Wisdom, if I'm not mistaken. Then for the remainder, probably going to go... I might just average out his other stats, and just to make him a little bit more of a Jackie trade. Zyron's going to be our main speaky boy anyway, so we don't need Astarion to be too speaky, so that's absolutely fine. And I'll probably give him 2 points in intelligence, and yeah, we won't have to worry about strength. So if I was going to buff up another stat by 1, what would it be? Probably go Constitution for what we're going to be building him with. Skills-wise, sleight of hand up. Stealth, I do want up. Definitely, because he's still going to be our stealth guy. Nature's great. We love nature. I don't know. Actually, I might put him on animal handling, because there are some encounters in the future that encounter animals. So it would be handy to have a go-to animal guy. And why not? Let's let it be Astarion of all people. So Astarion's now a ranger. But fear not, ranger!
Fear not, ranger!
For that is not all you're doing, Astarion, oh no. The second class that Astarion is going to be, according to your choices, is going to be...
Acrobat!
Fighter. If anything, he is going to be a fighter strictly for action surge, because Astarion is going to be the beefy boy. Now, he is already an archer, so he has weapon training, bing bang bong. Because he's a ranger, I might just make him archery. He gets +2 on ranged weapon attacks. And we just keep Astarion as our ranged weapon boy for the most part. Because I don't see him doing... I could do 2 weapon fighting, and this is the other option I'm kind of thinking of at the moment. Because 2 weapon fighting can double up for both melee and range. Because as long as it basically involves your offhand in some way. So yeah, I think we'll actually go 2 weapon fighting as well. I'm going to challenge myself. Go with some unorthodox builds that truly challenge me. Actually going to give him crossbow expert. There's a reason why we're going to be doing that, which I'll explain later. And then for the second level, we can either just dip 1 level straight in fighter, or we could dip it into our ranger. I'll probably do ranger, because then we get fighting style, which can buff us up even more. So if we do that, we'll get another spell. And I think the best things would be speak with animals for sure. Hunter's Mark is a go-to anyway. Yeah, you know what? It's got to be Hunter's Mark this early on. You can't not have Hunter's Mark. Yeah, so we already got 2 weapon fighting. Now we pick archery as well. So now this means that we have our +2 bonus to ranged weapon attacks and our 2 weapon fighting stacks. That's going to be crazy good for when I saw him out later. Could go sharpshooter, so we don't have penalties on high ground rule. And that's what I'm tempted by. I'm kind of tempted to do sharpshooter this early on, because then he no longer suffers from that rule. Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good investment. That's actually a pretty good investment this early on. So sharpshooter will basically make it so that range attacks that we are proficient in, we can, if we want to, go all in, which will give us a -5 penalty to our attack roll, but will deal an additional 10 damage if we hit, which is handy. But the one I'm also keen on is low ground, so my ranged weapon attacks do not receive penalties from high ground rules. Basically, Astarion's now just going to be peak range boy. Simple as. Leaving Lae'zel, or as as an odd couple of you are now starting to call her Bazel, because in case you're just watching the series now, which you should be watching from episode 1, go back and watch the series now. Yes, we will be romancing Lae'zel. That's the target of this run also. First level is not going to be fighter. Instead, her first level is going to be monk. Bazel is going to go fisticuffs, and I can't wait for it. So we're going to buff up her dex. We're going to need her... I believe it's charisma? Let me just check here. Yes, we actually want to buff up her wisdom. That may have teased you as to what we're going to be doing with her. And her constitution. But then I want to remove the point from constitution and put it on wisdom. And we want to do it that way instead. Which does mean her stats are a little bit weird, but hear me out. We're gonna make her good. As for things, I think acrobatics is actually perfectly fine for her, and so is insight. That's absolutely fine. Nothing too mad. Nice first level for Lae'zel. But what else is Lae'zel going to be capable of? Haha, well. You didn't just want Lae'zel to be a monk. Oh no. You also wanted Lae'zel to be a cleric. And of all people, you want her to be a cleric of Selûne. Just to rub it in the face. of Shadowheart, of all people. So, yes, she will be a Saloon Cleric. Cantrip-wise, because I'm very strict when it comes to Cleric cantrips. Guidance, absolutely go to. I love Guidance way too much. Produce Flame is quite cool. Yeah, Thaumaturgy is actually okay. Let's actually go Blade Ward. Screw it. Now, the problem again was you suggested what the deity was, but not the subclass. So now I'm trying to think, if I was Lae'zel, and if I was a monk already, what domain would I be if I was a Cleric of Saloon? Easy. You're Gith Yankee. It has to be War Domain. Absolutely. I was tempted between War or Tempest Domain. War makes the most sense for Lae'zel. It just does. So with War Domain, when I make an unarmed or weapon attack, I can spend a War Priest charge to make an additional attack as a bonus action. This combines with Monk way too well, and that's what we're going to do. We gain proficiencies in Religion and Medicine, which is pretty darn nice also, and that's what we're going to keep. So we are doing Saloon as our deity. And then starting spells. Now, Lae'zel, you're going to be more fisticuffy than anything else. So we're going to go Bane and Bless, because they're just my favourite cleric spells. We're going to go with Healing Word, and I'm not going to get Inflict Wounds yet. I might get that on the next level. So we're going to go Command, because Command's always fun. And your first feat. Your feat's going to be interesting, because we need to think of the fact that you're a monk, but you're also going to be a cleric. So for you, Lae'zel, you're going to also benefit from not having any armor whatsoever. So that's another thing to keep in mind, so we don't need any of the armor proficiencies. I might just do ability score improvement this early on and just buff up Dex and Con. That's not a bad shout, because then... Oh no, I can't. Oh, not this early on. Of course, because you only need a level 1 in both. Ah, I see what you did there. Cheeky game. You're smarter than I am. Haha. Right. If that's the case, maybe Lae'zel takes the lucky feat. So we gain 3 luck points, which we can use on advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, or saving throws, or to make an enemy re-roll their attack roll. The lucky feat may actually be amazing on Lae'zel. No, I think early on, let's actually get lucky. Let's give her the lucky feat. Never thought I would say that about a Lae'zel cleric monk hybrid. Now here's the tough one. Do we take the second level in cleric, so we get a channel divinity charge, a spell slot, and we get guided strike, so we get a +10 to our attack rolls as a class action? Or do we take our next level in monk, so we gain access to patient defense, step of the wind, dash, and step of the wind disengage, with an extra key point and unarmored movement? I'm actually going to take the second level in monk first, because unarmored movement is so good. Oh, so good this early on. We do get Psionic Jump because of her being a Gith Yankee, and we're back to the feet problem again. But I can now buff those up. So now we got 18 Dex, 16 Con. Great. For this stage of the game where I'm unsure of where to take Lae'zel, I think that's the best. Absolutely, I think that's the best I can do.
Be wary of false promises. The missing druid, Halsin, was it? He may be talented, but only a Githyanki Zathis can cleanse an embedded tadpole.
See, I like to go with the logic that Lae'zel's covered in blood, because the idea of going through the class shift has been so impactful on your body that it's just rocked you senseless, you know? Wait, I want to do this for now, so wait for me in camp.
You believe you can survive without me?
Only for now, my dear, only for now. I'm not arguing, remain here.
As you say, do not keep me waiting.
I won't. There's a reason why we're doing that with Lae'zel, by the way. The main reason? We want to get Shadowheart, and we want to change her class as well.
The Blade of Frontiers. Let's hope Will lives up to his name. We'll need all the help we can get.
Very true, but that's a thing I'm gonna have to tell you guys now, though.
All right.
As Shadowheart joins the party, I need to let you guys know
if there's trouble.
We're not going to change Will's subclass. I'm very sorry, we're just not going to do it.
What am I to do?
And there's a reason why. we are not changing Will's subclass because a little bit of a spoiler, in case you haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 before, he's not going to be in our party for a very long time.
Thy name has
And the
been
reason
recorded.
why is simply because we are doing
I
an
shall
evil
be here
playthrough.
in thy camp,
Will is a good boy and he likes
whenever
good
thou
boys,
hast need
but we're
of
going to be
my
a bad boy and he don't like you, so he's gonna belt on us as soon as we start doing some really bad
Thy
stuff.
coin
But everyone else is going to
purse
stay
is
around.
near empty.
Oh, am I out of money? Oh jeez, am I actually out of cash? Oh, okay, be right back, folks. I think I misjudged how much money I had. Because if you think about it, we are spending quite a bit of gold just respecking everybody, because what, we've done for 5 characters, so that's 500 gold just on respecking this early on, but it'll be a worthwhile investment, I'm sure. Okay, here we go. Now we can actually do Shadowheart. Now we've got all that done. So, I only really had one person's idea for Shadowheart, and sadly it conflicts with what we're now doing with Astarion, because we had the idea for Shadowheart to be a Beastmaster Ranger, and although I'm all for Shadowheart being a Beastmaster Ranger, I don't know. With what we've got in the party makeup, I don't think it'll work out quite well. So hear me out, I have a much better idea. To make Shadowheart stand out, but to keep with the Ranger idea, her first level's going to be Druid. We are turning Shadowheart into a Druid. This is going to be interesting. So your high elf cantrip I will change for now. As much as I like Firebolt, I kind of want to give you Bone Chill. I'm tempted with Bone Chill. And you know what? That's what we're going to get. So you're going to get Bone Chill for free. You're going to be a Druid. I love Shillelagh. Shillelagh's so good. Enhance your Starfall Club, and it gains an extra bludgeoning damage. Uses spellcasting ability for attack rolls. It's very good. It does restrict her to only using clubs, and I have an idea for what weapons I want Shadowheart to be using. So Shillelagh sadly not what we want, but Thorn Whip's amazing. Love Thorn Whip, and Guidance again, so we have a second Guidance user. Then, is this the build we want? That's the question now. I'm going to play it a little bit crazy here. We'll do the +2 in Wisdom. But we don't really have a Strength character, so we are going to buff her Strength up. So, Shadowheart's going to be our big strong gal. The rest of her points into Constitution, and that's basically going to be Shadowheart in a nutshell. I'm going to take her Dexterity up to 10 because I know of the dex saves we're going to be making in the future, and at least then we're rolling vanilla. Right, as for her other bits, we don't need Animal Handling because that's what Astarion's basically got. Perception's great. And you know what? Survival's not bad either. Let's go with both of those. And perfect. So now we have Shadowheart the Druid. And our second level is going to be Druid again. I'm kind of going to be teasing this one. But do we go Circle of the Land, Circle of the Moon, or Circle of the Spores? We're actually going to do Circle of the Moon Druid, so Shadowheart can turn into all sorts of different beasties. So as a bonus action, we can assume the form of a beast and transform twice per short rest, which is pretty nice. We get Lunar Mend, so we can expend a spell slot to regain hit points while in wild shape. And we have all the wild shape options here, so we can have a wolf, we can have a badger, we can have a spider, we can have, I believe that's a... What am I thinking? Is that a gnoll? I don't think that is a gnoll, but it could be, and cat, because why not cat? And we also get the bear, because we love bear. You gotta bear with me. Terrible. But yes, we want that. Entangle's great. Entangle's really snazzy. I'm going to give you Speak with Animals as well, because it's going to be good having 2 animal peeps. We're going to have... I do really like Ice Knife. I think we'll have Thunder Wave with you, because you are going to be in the face of peeps. And we are also going to do I've got 2 more to go with. Let's go Ice Knife. And I think maybe Entangle. Because if Entangle procs, that's really handy. Let's go for it. Let's actually go for it. Now for your feet. For your feet, Lae'zel, Shadowheart. Sorry, I must not get them mixed up. Oh no. Shadowheart's going to be our tavern brawler. So we're going to make it so the Shadowheart can throw things good. So effectively, whenever we throw something or use an improvised weapon, we get our strength modifier that's added twice to both damage and attack rolls. Perfect. And her final level. As much as I like Druid level 3, she's going to be a Barbarian. That's right, we are going Druid Barbarian build for Shadowheart. And this means as a level 1 Barbarian, she'll only have access to Rage, which is absolutely fine. And now, this opens up what we want to do with her. I was tempted to go Shieldmaster, and I might still do it. But the first thing we want to do, and this is basically going to give you guys a full idea of what we're going to go with Shadowheart. We are going to use one of my favourite feats in the entirety of D&D, Polar Master. So when we attack with a glaive, halberd, quarterstaff or spear, we can use a bonus action to attack with the butt of our weapon, and you can also make an opportunity attack when a target comes within range. That's right, Shadowheart's going to be our keep away big fighter gal. Cannot wait. Right, with all of that done, all of our party members that we are going to be using, sorry Will, very sorry Will, are basically all spec'd up, ready to go. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop the recording. We are going to update everybody, their armor, their weapons, even their color schemes, because I do have a mod to be able to dye their armors ready to go. And when I come back, we're going to have a campfire session where we're just talking to our party members and trying to get to know them a little bit better. Okay, we're back. Everyone's been sorted, and as you can see, some of these modded dyes are incredible. Zyron's now donning the armor set of, well, at least the armor set of Shadowheart at the moment, because it does count as medium armor. We'll talk to Shadowheart and the others in a bit so you can see all of their armor and clothes as well. But one thing I am going to do quickly, I just want to do this to compare, and I thought I'd do this on camera just to see how things would look, because yes, we do have the chain shirt from Shadowheart because it counts as medium armor, but so does the Githyanki half plate. But it does mean that our stealth checks are lowered. But yet again, I'm not worried about stealth checks on Zyron of all people. And we also have the Githyanki boots as well, which we can try out. So let's have a look and see how this looks in comparison. I mean, I like it. I think that does look better. Personally, I think that does look better than the saloon outfit, if I was to pick. With that in mind, now we need color schemes, and as you can tell, these are all the modded dyes. So let's have a bit of a laugh here and see what we get. I like the idea of Ball, and this kind of ties in. I've also got the Red Prince cape on because of, you know, early access / pre-order exclusives, why not? How does Ball look? Yo! That actually looks amazing. Kinda don't like the bottom part though. That's the only thing that puts me off. It's a little bit too much leg on Zyron when it comes to the armor parts at the bottom. That is the only problem I have. As much as I love the breastplate, the legs don't do it for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that's really putting me off looking at the legs. I think we'll go here, but I might actually change the color scheme to Ball. Yeah, I actually love that. The Ball color scheme makes so much sense. How about for the boots? Boots look fantastic. Can you change the color scheme of the cape? I'm curious. Oh. Oh my god. That's perfect. That's so... Look at how clean that is. Oh my lord. Let me look at this outside. Oh. Oh, look at him. Oh, isn't he just a scion of death? Oh my god. He looks so clean. Oh, Zyron's got that drip, and I'm so proud of him. Right. So now that we've got everyone sorted out in their camp gear, apart from Will, we are good to have a bit of a campfire chat. Let's start with Shadowheart in her new look over here, which is pretty nice. Just giving her a simple robe because she's a druid, so I didn't want to give her any armor to hold to her up. So she's got a nice robe going on from the start of the game that I was wearing, and at the moment she's donning a pike until we get a second spear, which you'll see later on. Let's check in with her.
Something the matter?
Not so much. What's the story with the odd little artifact you have?
There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it.
Okay. So we are just diving in deep here. My memories are all gone. Is your tadpole playing tricks on yours?
I understand why you ask, but memory loss is not as uncommon as you'd think. There may be other causes.
Teasy. What do you think of all that's happened to us so far?
We've been through quite a lot, with likely more to come. Care to narrow it down a little?
You must have thoughts about our little stowaways.
Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. Personally, I think finding this Halcyon is our best bet. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith crash will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind.
So she is more in line with the Halcyon finding rather than the crash. What will you do if we actually manage to remove the tadpoles?
I suppose we'd go our separate ways.
Not a slight on your company, of course.
No reason for us not to stay together if we get on well.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible.
Okay, so we can keep that in mind. I don't want to pry too hard on Shadowheart because I don't want her ranking to exceed Lae'zel, but I think we're already doing better with Lae'zel anyway. No. Family, a friend, a lover?
Let's just say it's a very personal, very private acquaintance.
I believe if I had detect thoughts, I could try and pry her mind a bit, which is evil, and I would do it if I had access to it, but sadly I don't. We'll turn to other matters, and we should get to know each other a little more.
Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think?
You don't want to talk about yourself?
I should hope not. Have you ever heard the people who want to talk about themselves? I'm doing you a favor.
Maybe I'd like to get to know you better.
Sweet of you, but don't worry. I'm sure you'll get to know me just fine by traveling together. No need for interrogations just yet.
Well, I like interrogating. That's my jam, girl. Yeah, this is the option I wanted. Not good enough. Are you hiding something from me?
Say for a moment that I was. Do you think your blunt approach would get me to confess?
As much as I could do option 2, I don't want to... I want her affiliation to go up, but not so far up past Lae'zel. I suppose not. We can have a matter rest for now, if you'd rather.
Good. I like you. And you did save my life. I wouldn't want to sour things between us. Not while we need each other.
Well, that'll do with our banter with Shadowheart at the moment. Let's move along. Next up, it's Astarion. Just look at that. That's just a simple colour change of his regular outfit. And it kind of suits the whole ranger motif we're going for, so I like it.
So, we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. I feel safer already.
I really like how that dye came out on that outfit. It looks beautiful. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
Oh, it's That's great. We don't have a lot of options with Astarion this early on, but at least that's better. One thing I almost forgot. I need Astarion to have a crossbow, because he does have crossbow expertise, so he'll benefit from that. I'll just take a regular bow for the time being, which is still okay for me, but, you know, I just want Astarion to have a proper weapon for his antics. That's better. So yeah, that's Astarion, that's his outfit. Pretty straightforward, pretty nice. No, we can't talk a lot with him at the moment, sadly. But here's Lae'zel. I really dig the colour scheme for her.
Speak.
And the fact that she's now a monk as well actually makes that outfit look really nice on her. There wasn't a lot of colour schemes that worked that well, so if you guys want to try her out in other dyes, let me know, but I think she looks okay at the moment. Are you sure Kresh is our only path to a cure?
Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each Kresh contains a Zaithisk purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding.
That kind of wisdom is very valuable.
Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant order turns to chaos and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
Now, would I inquire about her being a Githyanki? I might do, but I don't want to be offensive towards her. That's what I'm worried about with that option number 1. Do you know much about mind flayers?
I understand much beyond your comprehension.
Well, that's why I'm
More to
asking.
the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a Kresh. You do well to observe more and question less.
Alright, calm it down, Radham, calm it down. I get it.
Do you know what happens if we don't find a cure?
Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born.
See, with that kind of description, now I'm terrified. So if you ever liked the movie The Thing, you're gonna love this. Now, what would be the best approach that Lae'zel would like? That sounds awful, makes it sound like weakness. Try to suppress your rising panic is not a good thing to do in front of her, because she'll smell it from a mile away. That's not going to happen. We will find a cure is probably our best bet. So, that's not going to happen. We will find a cure.
Words forged in steel. May your actions express the same metal. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me.
A puzzle indeed. It's very good. We are raising her thoughts of us very consistently, so this is good. You're worried we haven't changed? This is good news.
Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
See, I'm genuinely giving Lae'zel the look of, I kind of want to bang her. like those are the eyes of, what if we can do it here, we can do it there, there's trees, there's racks. Oh no. Let's see what she reacts to with this. My past is a mystery to me. Could the parasite have caused that?
Ceremorphosis takes all of you. Mind, body, soul. An ordinary tadpole would eat at your memories until they were lost to the void. But our tadpoles are far from ordinary. I wonder if another factor's in play.
Okay. Oh, what about this, though? I have these urges. I want to kill. I want blood.
Many a good warrior savors the scent of blood in the air. There's no shame in a capricious murder now and again. Too many, though, and you waste energy and dull your weapon. My suggestion, attack with purpose and savor your kills. And if the urge proves too much, well, I'm sure we can find you a goblin or two to carve up.
See, she gets me. She absolutely gets me. That's awesome. Maybe I do question her about being a Githyanki and we just see what happens. You look so unusual. Githyanki are rare in these parts.
I expect I am your first.
Oh, this went in a direction I wasn't expecting. Because bearing in mind, I've played the game before, but there are some dialogue options and some choices I've never made before. So this is new. This is new for me. I know of Githyanki, but I've never met one. I've crossed paths with Githyanki before. I've never heard of your kind until my capture.
I suppose I am as alien to you as you are to me. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake.
At least I have a nose. You don't. Hey, where's it gone? Who knows? Ha ha! Terrible. It isn't that large. As if your upturned bat snout is any better. Ooh. Really thanks for noticing. Be silent in the face of her goading. I think she may like it if I have a bit of clapback, though. She may see it as like, ooh, there's a bit of fire in this one. And it's like, yeah, that's what I want. So maybe she'll like that. As if your upturned bat snout is any better.
Better is an opinion, but mine is certainly more economical, disciplined, dignified.
I'd fuck it. Why is that the face of Zyron just going, I'd still bang. Oh, God's sakes. Why do I just have this feeling with Zyron being the... No, he's one of those horny drow. I don't see Githyanki very often, but it's like, I can bang. Right, so even though will not be joining us in our adventures, we can have a chat with him. He is shoeless because I needed an odd pair of shoes. But let's have a chat.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
Oh, he does have a lot of options though. Hey. Probably not them. Let's just opt against it. We're not really gonna do a lot with Will. There's maybe one encounter we'll throw him at, but even then, not too worried about it. But Gale, yo, look at that color scheme on Gale. I love how his outfit looks.
I've known a few warlocks in my time. Talented, of course, though sometimes too eager to listen to the devils on their shoulders. Comes with the territory, unfortunately.
Okay, so what should we say with Gale? Tell me a bit about yourself.
Let's see. I hail from Waterdeep, City of Splendors. I am a wizard of considerable acclaim and scholar of exceptional accomplishment. I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry. There.
Oh, there we go. I want to know more than your hobbies. Can't you tell me something about the real you?
Certainly. That I have a great respect for privacy, for instance, especially my own.
Okay, then. Oh, but do I sneak into his mind? Oh, well, I don't have the highest wisdom save, though. I am jack of all trades, but that's an evil thing to do. And that's the thing I would want to do. Screw it. I think we have to go and try it. A 15s. Ugh. And only have a plus. Let's try it. Ah, oh, no. Only a 10. Only a 10. I don't think this is worth using a inspiration on either. I have 4, but... Nah, it's a bit of a waste. I tried.
Try as you might to breach his inner thoughts, Gale swats your efforts away with infuriating ease.
I have a very disciplined mind. Those tricks won't work on me. Please don't try that again unless I invite you to.
Damn it. My evil ways were foiled! Foiled! Evil! Gale suddenly turns into mermaid man, points at me and just goes, Evil! Oh no. My memories before the Nautiloid are shrouded in darkness.
Memory loss isn't usually a symptom of ceremorphosis. If it is, they've forgotten to write it down in any text I've read on the subject. Then again, our case isn't exactly usual. Perhaps whatever's causing our tadpoles to remain in stasis has also affected your mind. If ceremorphosis takes place, all trace of your former self will be subsumed into the Mind Flayer's hive. So, to still be here, if a mite forgetful, still a win in my book.
Very fair. Now, what would he think about this? I have found thoughts, depraved thoughts, ones that refuse to go away.
We all have those from time to time. I once wished a most impure demise on a colleague of mine who bought the last remaining copy of Etheril's Enchiridion of Enchanting Easements. It's a first edition, too. As regards to your own morbid little fantasies, I'm sure they're nothing to worry about. So long as they remain fantasies.
Very fair, very fair. Okay. And that's all we have for Campfire chillouts right now. Now, I could do a long rest, and I could commit to a long rest, but I do have one short rest still remaining, so I'm not too worried about that. I do just want to check that Astarion is not on All-In, because as much as I like All-In, if he's on that all the time, we're just going to have a minus on all our penalties and whatnot, and I don't want that. So, with that in mind, we're going to leave the camp. We have returned to the Grove because I needed to sell a bunch of stuff and buy a bunch of stuff to make sure that we look as fabulous as we are. But effectively, that's where we're going to end this session. It's nice and simple and easy. Just wanted a quick campfire session. But when we return, we will explore more of what's around us. Maybe even explore more of the Grove. We will dive deep and find some more ways to be evil and spread our influence around the place. Until next time, folks, let me know over in the comments if there is anything you would like to see dye-wise on any of our characters, and I will gladly change their dye colours moving forward. I think we have the perfect one for Zyron. I think for the others, that's still up for grabs, and the dyes are not single-use, they're multi-use, so if you want to see any of our characters in any specific colour combinations, I will put a poll up, and I'll put a question board up on the Discord server for you guys to give your thoughts. And if we have so many people wanting so many certain colour schemes for the main party members, that's what we will sort out for next time. But until next time, folks, hope you have a good one. Stay safe, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay explosive. I'll be seeing you guys next time.